Good evening. You're joining the State of Business on our television. My name is Kavishka Pereira. First, let's take a look at today's headlines. NEC discusses solutions to current economic challenges. World Food Day celebrated under President's patronage.
ප්‍රමිතියෙන් යුත් ආහාර මේ කරුණු සම්බන්ධයෙන් රාජ්‍ය ප්‍රතිපත්තිය තුළ ක්‍රියා කිරීම.
News in detail. Considering the challenges that Sri Lanka is currently facing due to global uncertainty, President Maithripala Sirisena has instructed the Ministry of Finance to study current imports and submit a report on goods of which imports can be temporarily restricted. President made these remarks at the 20th session of the National Economic Council, which was held at the Presidential Secretariat yesterday. During the meeting, the National Economic Council emphasized upon the measures that Sri Lanka should implement in order to face challenges arising due to the appreciation of the US dollar globally. Special attention was paid on restricting the import of non-essential goods as a temporary measure and producing import substitution products domestically. Moreover, the President highlighted the importance of restricting the import of non-essential polythene products that have a significant environmental impact and have affected the local industries negatively. The NEC also took up some concerns of local manufacturers and traders for discussion. As such, the NEC listened to some concerns raised by the importers of sugar to Sri Lanka, who pointed out that they had to incur considerable losses when sugar is sold at the current maximum retail price. However, given the fact that global sugar prices have now decreased continuously, the NEC advised Ministry of Finance and Consumers Affairs Authority to address the concerns of the sugar importers and provide a proper solution. Local manufacturers of fruit drinks presenting their concerns to the NEC sought relief from taxes that have been imposed based on the amount of added sugar in fruit drinks. It was agreed that local fruit growers and manufacturers need to be encouraged and prioritized. As such, the NEC was advised to appoint a committee to identify a proper mechanism to support the industry. President Maithripala Sirisena emphasized the importance of implementing a state policy regarding the production, security, quality and standards of food. President Sirisena made these remarks addressing a ceremony which was held in Colombo yesterday to mark the World Food Day.
අපේ රටේ නිෂ්පාදනය කරන ආහාරවලින් හරියටම 3න් 1කට වැඩි ප්‍රමාණයක් 35ක් විතර සතුන් විනාශ කරනවා. මේ පිළිබඳව මම පසුගිය අවුරුදු කීපය තුලම කතා කරලා තිබෙනවා. ඒ වගේම අපේ රටේ විද්වතුන් මා සමග ප්‍රකාශ කර තිබෙනවා ජීවත් වන මිනිසුන්ට තිබෙන ආහාර පරිභෝජනය සඳහා කැමට තිබෙනවා. මිනිසුන්ට ඒවා නොලැබී සතුන් විසින් ඒ ආහාර විනාශ කරන ලෝකයේ එකම රට ලංකාව කියලා. මිනිස්සු බඩගින්නේ ඉඳලා සතුන් ආහාර විනාශ කරන පසුබිමක් රටක ගොඩනැගෙන්න දෙන්න පුළුවන්කමක් නැහැ. ඒ නිසා අපි ප්‍රධාන වශයෙන්ම ආහාර නිෂ්පාදනය, ආහාර සුරක්ෂිතතාවය, ආහාර ප්‍රවර්ධනය, ආහාරවල ගුණාත්මකභාවය, සෞඛ්‍ය සම්පන්න ජනතාවකට අවශ්‍ය ප්‍රමිතියෙන් යුත් ආහාර මේ කරුණු සම්බන්ධයෙන් රාජ්‍ය ප්‍රතිපත්තිය තුළ ක්‍රියා කිරීම ඉතාමත් අත්‍යවශ්‍යයි.
Responding to a question posed by journalists regarding the debate on the East Container Terminal, Co-Cabinet spokesperson Rajat Senaratne made the following remarks while addressing the media during the weekly cabinet briefing this afternoon.
There was no cabinet paper about the East Terminal. There was a cabinet paper about supplying 3 lifts for the East Terminal, right? So that was discussed and you see there were no observations from the Finance Ministry. So it was postponed for another week because there are already 108 cabinet papers were presented yesterday to cabinet, very high numbers, but only 43 were approved. So that means about 65 cabinet papers were not approved. This is one of them because that has to be discussed on how the East Terminal will be developed in the future. With that only that this will be considered. But the minister said that he has funds in the Port Authority to purchase these equipment. So in that case, the government said it's okay if they have funds, not using the Treasury Fund.
Let's take a look at several cabinet decisions which were granted approval during the last cabinet meeting. The Cabinet of Ministers approved the proposal presented by President Maithripala Sirisena to initiate a special training program for the officers of the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption in order to strengthen the Commission's activities. The proposal to conduct the census of Sri Lanka in 2020 and to publish the reports in 2021 presented by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe was granted approval by the Cabinet. The Cabinet of Ministers granted approval to the proposal presented by Minister of Finance and Mass Media Mangala Samaraweera to enter into agreements with institutions who will provide loans for those who are installing solar PV arrays to generate electricity. Let's take a short break now. Stay tuned for more news after this. Welcome back. Speaking exclusively to our television, the former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, Dr. W.A. Wijewardena, made the following remarks with regard to the depreciation of the Sri Lankan rupee.
The root cause of the rupee depreciation is not the present crisis. It is deeply rooted in the Sri Lanka government spending more money than what it earns, creating a deficit in the government budget year after year, increasing the money income of the people of the country, and that money income had gone out of Sri Lanka by way of imports and the purchase of foreign services. And finally, when there was a deficit in the balance of payment, it was always financed by borrowing money from out, and the government had to repay the debt that it had borrowed from outside, plus it had to pay interest. So as a result, the present economic crisis with regard to Sri Lanka rupee is actually something that is deeply compounded in the government's own behavior. So the long-term solution lies reducing its total expenditure, going for a prudential fiscal management, and cutting down the government expenditure and so forth.
According to the Sri Lanka Purchasing Managers Index released by the Census and Statistics Department, the industrial production and services in Sri Lanka have eased in September 2018 compared to the same month in 2017. The manufacturing sector PMI decreased to 54.1 index points in September 2018 from 58.2 index points recorded in August 2018. The slowdown observed in manufacturing activities in September was mainly driven by the slowdown in new orders and production, especially in manufacturing of food and beverages activities. However, new orders and production of manufacturing of textiles, wearing apparel, leather and other related products, which are mostly export-oriented, improved during this period. Overall, the sub-indices of PMI recorded values above the neutral 50.0 threshold, signaling an overall expansion in September, yet at a slower pace compared to the last month. The services sector PMI declined to 53.0 index points in September 2018 from 57.0 index points recorded in August, recording the lowest index value since the survey began in May 2015. The slowdown in services sector was mainly due to the significant slowdown of business activities in accommodation, food and beverage, wholesale and retail trade, health activities and other personal services sectors. Let's take a short break now. Stay tuned for stock updates after this. Welcome back. Trading at the Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The all-share price index dropped 19.27 points to close at 5,776.75 and the S&P SL20 dropped 18.45 points to close at 2,917.45. The turnover was 448.5 billion rupees and 10 million shares were traded. Next up is Forex rates. That's all the news we have for today. Join us tomorrow at the same time for more of the very latest. Thank you and good night.